Am I nude? Am I not nude? The world may never know.
She was trapped in a mirror and it couldn't be clearer. She wanted to leave this place and get herself back in space. Trapped in a mirror and it couldn't be clearer. She wanted to leave this place and get herself back in space. Trapped in a mirror and it couldn't be clearer. She wanted to leave this place and get herself back in space. Trapped in a mirror and it couldn't be clearer. She wanted to leave this place and get herself back in space. Dad, you might think she's a criminal, but her friendship comes through subliminal. Lapis Dad, you might think she's a criminal, but her friendship comes through subliminal. Lapis Dad, you might think she's a criminal, but her friendship comes through subliminal. Lapis Dad, you might think she's a criminal, but her friendship comes through subliminal. Lapis Lazuli, you fled into the bottom of the sea. Lapis Lazuli, you fled into the bottom of the sea. Lapis Lazuli, you fled into the bottom of the sea. Lapis Lazuli, you were so mad but then you came around to me. Trapped in a mirror and it couldn't be clearer. She wanted to leave this place and get herself back in space. Trapped in a mirror and it couldn't be clearer. She wanted to leave this place and get herself back in space. Trapped in a mirror and it couldn't be clearer. She wanted to leave this place and get herself back in space. Trapped in a mirror and it couldn't be clearer. She wanted to leave this place and get herself back in space.
Hey YouTube, and welcome back to my YouTube channel where I post every Sunday. And today I thought I would take some time out of my day to talk about why and what crystals I wear around my neck. So the first crystal that I'm going to talk about is this one. This is Lapis Lazuli, and I'm going to talk about the crystals that you shouldn't cleanse with sunlight first, and you shouldn't wear this in the shower because it doesn't work well with water. It actually becomes a little toxic if you get it wet. It washes away in the water. But one of the first things I want to talk about with this stone is that this is called the Stone of Truth. It's connected with the mind and intellect and helps with deciphering actual meaning as opposed to emotionally clouded judgment, which helps me a lot because I do a lot of thinking. I do use my mind and intellect a lot. Another reason I wear this is because that it is a problem solver, and because I do think about the questions of life a lot. It's also good for answers to those questions, and it is also good for anxiety disorders or if you have depression. And with that, it gently brings these repressed and unresolved problems to be released. So it does gently kind of vibrate depression and anxiety to be released from your body, even if it's just a little bit. And because of that, it's also a throat and third eye chakra stone. It helps you speak the truth and helps you with bottled up emotion. This is a stone made of 3 crystals, which are Labradorite, white calcite, and pyrite. And I didn't know that before I got this, and there are little specks of pyrite is actually actually fool's gold, so it does have a little fool's gold in here, so it does have a little gold color, but you can't really tell with this camera. What I also didn't know is that when I ordered this, I did some research on YouTube while I was waiting for it to come to the mail, and during that research I learned that this stone is connected with Isis, and that its day to best be used is on a Thursday, but it also falls under a Sagittarius, and it's called the Stone of the Gods, but it's also connected to Jupiter, and it was kind of weird because this was supposed to come on a Thursday, and I'm also a Sagittarius and a Jupiter planet, and this was supposed to come on a Thursday, but this ended up coming a day early, so I guess the stone was like, maybe I need a little help a little earlier than expected. But the stone was popular in Egypt. I learned that Egyptian pharaohs and pharaohs, pharaohs? I guess they would still be pharaohs. Yeah, but they would crush this up and make eyeshadow out of it because it looked great and helped with the eyes and your third eye, but what they didn't know, this is pretty toxic to wear around your eyes. But as I said, this is also, I also wear this because it is good for dreams and gives you visions for guidance. And then it helps you be honest and truthful. And the last thing that I wear this for is because it's an air element. So that is why I wear Lapis Lazuli. Now the next stone I'm going to show you is my Amethyst. Now this isn't just an amethyst stone, this is also a chakra pendant, so it's got amethyst, but it also has, I'm not sure what each one is, but this, I'm gonna say this is ruby, tiger's eye, aquamarine, and then I know this one's lapis lazuli, and I believe this one is fluorite, and then there's two I'm not sure what they are, but I do wear this because it is an amethyst pendant, but I wear this because it encourages calm and peace, and it encourages you to slow down, which I have a problem with, because once I get started, it's hard to get me to stop. Like, I can start something and go hours or days without eating, depending on what I'm doing. So it encourages me to, you know, slow down, take a break sometimes. But it also encourages blissfulness. This is related to the crown chakra, and the amethyst alone encourages balancing of that chakra. It's also good for sleep and anxiety, and it also empowers anybody with an addiction. It helps to alleviate the need for whatever addiction it is. It also promotes wisdom, which philosophically helps a lot because I do a lot of philosophical thinking. It also connects me spiritually to spirit guides, inner wisdom, just the supernatural in general. This also encourages wise and diplomatic solutions to that stuff, because I do try to see everything from everybody's point of view, and so I like this because it helps find the best way to find said solution. But there's that, so with this stone alone, it does all that stuff, but with the chakra stones, it also helps to heal and empower all the other chakras with the power of the amethyst. This is also stone you shouldn't bathe or cleanse in sunlight. I think you can wear this or get this wet. I wear this in the shower all the time, and it held up pretty well. I've had this for a couple of years now, so there's amethyst. And then for this next one, this is my newest stone. And it is called Merlin Stone or Labradorite. Now, I'm not sure if this is going to pick on this camera, but if it's not having light reflected on it, it just looks like a normal gray stone. But if you can see that if you shine it to some light, that it will reflect, and it will get a pretty blue reflection, almost like a holographic reflection, but there's some blue and there's a tiny bit of purple here, which I was so excited about because I ordered this and I wasn't sure what to expect, and this is one of my favorite stones that I've ever purchased, so I wear this because it enhances psychic abilities, which, as you know, I've been trying to practice psychokinesis, but mainly telekinesis, or the manipulation of objects with energy from your brain. This is also a mystical and protective crystal, and is good for esoteric knowledge. I really like this stone because of the legend behind it, which is that a warrior rammed his spear into this stone and created the Aurora Borealis, which, if you can see the pretty reflection on it, that it does look sort of like the Aurora Borealis. But I like that about it, which is why I wear it. It also awakens the warrior in you, which is always good for somebody who is kinda shy, and it helps to question mainstream thoughts and connect you to your own truth, which in the age we are in now is kind of a good thing, especially with as much philosophical thinking I do. Helps a lot with that, and helps not to be egotistical about my thoughts, but it also enhances creativity, good luck, and lucid dreaming. It lets you be the black sheep and awakens the probabilities of adventure. I also wear this because it helps to not take on a naysayer's opinions, especially with being a witch and believing in the supernatural and pseudoscience. Never hurts to have that. This helps stop night terrors, which have become increasingly more frequent. But when I started to wear this stone, I haven't had one since, actually. Um, and then the planet for this is Uranus, um, and it helps you pave your own alternate path, or alternative path, and then the planet Arcturus, which is good for recognition and honor. So I wear that one, and then to the next one I wear is just a regular clear quartz crystal, and I really like this because it is the second most abundant crystal in Earth's crust, and it's a jack of all trades and can be used for anything. This is good for balance emotionally, spiritually, and is good for physical stamina. Um, this stone is good for aging pets and elderly, so I like having this because I am around animals and the elderly. Um, but this is also good for the brain, uh, because this crystal is a master crystal, and then your brain is a master organ. They do work together pretty well. Um, it's a pain reducer if you, like, say if you had a headache and you put it on your third eye for a little bit, that could help take the pain you're having away, and it is great for healing. But I think this would be the number one reason I like wearing quartz, is because it is an amplifier. So if, let's say, all of these stones have something to do with enhancing psychic ability. So we have Amethyst, Lapis Lazuli, and Labradorite. Now wearing quartz is going to amplify the properties of all the crystals I am wearing. So whatever these are doing, if I'm wearing this, are amplified by 2 or even 3 times, which is why I really like quartz crystal. But for the last stone, I am wearing, I'm not going to take it off because it is pretty hard to take on and off, and with this necklace, there were 2 slidey strings that you could fix so that it would be tighter or looser around your neck, and they ended up breaking, and I had to go and fix that with some rudimentary tools, and I just don't want it to break no more. So this is a jade stone. I think you can see it, but I got this for Christmas 2 years ago from my mom, and this stone is good for balancing, and it promotes tranquility, abundance, friendship, dreams, and harmony. This also opens the heart chakra and is good for low self-esteem and shyness. It's also a very protective stone and actually absorbs, or the legend behind the stone is that it absorbs negative energy, and the more negative energy that it absorbs, the darker the stone becomes. So just with that thinking, you might want to cleanse it regularly, which is really actually a good stone to start with if you want to start learning how to cleanse stones. Like for this stone, it's really good to cleanse it in with the earth, because the earth has properties that resonate with this really well. But this also is a good stone if you want to remember dreams better, which I do write down my dreams, and this stone probably is helping me remember them more than I probably would. And then for the last reason I'm wearing this is because that this was popular in China, or is still popular in China, and was the Empress or Emperor stone. But yeah, those are just the crystals I like wearing and some of the reasons behind them. If you like this video, then hit the like button. If you want to see more videos where I do talk about crystals, then leave me some interest comments down below, and if you haven't already, then subscribe. Alright, bye guys.